Crystal Corner. We've changed where we are again, and hopefully this is where we're going to stay because I kind of like this corner. This is one of my book shelves that Dave built me. So anyway, welcome to our Facebook Live of Cindy's Crystal Corner. This week we're going to talk about how do we program a crystal. We've talked about how do we deprogram a crystal, but now we're going to talk about how do we program a crystal. And I see we have a few people that have joined in already. We have Marta and Jean and Elisa. Well, Elisa's here with me. She's going to help me answer questions today. And Chris, good to see you. Okay, and I think we have some other people, but I'm not going to. And then Cindy Collins. Thank you, Cindy. I love my hair. Anyway, all right. So let's get to it. This week we're going to, like we've been doing for the past two times, we're going to talk about how to do something with a crystal, this week's programming, and then we're going to talk about a couple different crystals. And so I've got a bunch of them, and as you know, they are on sale, the ones I'm going to be talking about. Hey, Jean, good to see you. So let's get started with how to program a crystal. Well, the first thing that you may need to do, well, first of all, you need a crystal. I like quartz, particularly for programming. You can program with other types of crystals, but quartz are known. That's why they're used to be used in radios and things because they can hold a frequency. They're known to be able to hold frequencies rather easily. And so that's one of the reasons I like, if I'm going to program a crystal, I like a quartz crystal. Now, that crystal can have a flavor to it already. So, in other words, citrine is calming, rose quartz is heart centered. Then we have amethyst. Amethyst is a more spiritual, higher vibration. So they can have their own flavor. We also have sodalite, which is not necessarily the same kind of crystal, but you could program that as well. That has a more intuitive. But we're going to start with this citrine. This is the one we're going to use for an example. So I have my citrine here. And the first thing that I want to do is deprogram it. And so one of the ways we learn to deprogram a crystal is to bring light to it, whether it's golden light, white light, whatever you see as sacred light. And so I'm just going to pray over it. Divine Spirit, please remove anything that's not for the highest and most loving good for anyone that comes in contact with this crystal, or not for the highest and most loving good of the crystal. Now, citrine doesn't really pick up on stuff, so I probably wouldn't have to deprogram it, but I figure what the heck, might as well be, because this is the steps for any crystal, right? So we're going to, first of all, cleanse it, clear it, deprogram it. Then, when we're ready to program it, we figure out what we want to program it with. So, when we're not touching it, I'm going to put this down. We think, what do we want to program this crystal for? Well, if citrine, and in this case, citrine is already a calming crystal, maybe let's say you have. I have two different clients recently that have phobias around driving. So let's say you have a phobia around driving, and I want to program this crystal to specifically radiate even stronger when I'm in the car or when I'm driving or when I'm riding with somebody else. So that's going to be my concept. I've got it clear in my mind, and that's key. You need to be clear on what you want to program the crystal with. And so let's say that's what it is. Please, crystal, please give me extra calming and confidence while I am driving, right? Or when I'm in the car, whether driving or with someone else. And so what I would do then is I would get into a meditative state or a quiet state. Don't worry if you're not a good meditator, just a quiet state. I always start with a nice breath, right? And I think and focus what I want this crystal to do. And in a kind of a prayerful state, I talk to the crystal just like it's a person. And I'm like, oh, beautiful citrine. I love the citrine, by the way. It's one of the tumbled ones that we have on sale. Please, citrine crystal, Please radiate your calm, gift me with your calm and confidence, especially when I'm driving or when I'm in the car with other people. And I focus my energy. Now, you could imagine the request coming out of your third eye, coming from your heart, but you're imagining the vibration. What does it feel like to be calm and confident while I'm driving? What does that feel like? And radiate that into the crystal and ask the crystal to hold that energy and give it back to you when you need it. So, and then you also make sure that the crystal is okay with that, because you don't want, it's like asking a favor. Unless you say it's okay to say no, you should always give the option. And so then you may add, only if you are willing to do this for me, right? And all creation has consciousness. The level of consciousness may be different, and how we access it may be different, but really all levels of creation have some sort of consciousness. And so I talk to my crystals just like they were people. So that's one way. Let's take a different example. So you'll notice that what I programmed it with was in alignment with what the crystal already did. So let's take a rose quartz, for example. Here we have a rose quartz. Again, I'm going to clear it. I'm going to ask that anything that's not for the highest and most loving good of this crystal be cleared or cleansed. I'm going to imagine white light or golden light going and running through the crystal, just as if it was running underwater, cleansing and clearing, and so that we remove any programming from the crystal. And then, without holding the crystal, I'm going to decide, what do I want that to do? Well, rose quartz is a very loving, heart centered energy. And right now, I don't know about you, Elisa, but I am struggling with being heart centered when I'm watching Facebook or you stop looking. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? So maybe I want this rose quartz when maybe I'll keep it by my side. For most women, that's putting it in your brassiere, right? I'll keep it up by my side, and I'm going to ask it to really help me when I am judging, right? When I am judging others. And so we're taking the loving vibration that's already in the crystal, and I'm going to ask that it help me specifically when I am judging. And so again, I ask divine spirit or crystal, divine rose quartz, please, this particular piece of rose quartz, and I'm consciously sending this request to the rose quartz. Please, especially when I am judging people, please share with me your loving energy. And some people hold it up to your third eye, some people hold it to your heart, I don't feel like you have to do that, but I actually, when I'm charging it for someone else, I do, because I think it helps people to see that you're actually doing something versus just all, in your mind. So I hold it to my third eye, and I imagine this loving, non-judging energy being available to me when I need it. And then that crystal is programmed. Now crystals become unprogrammed. It's just like you may be programming yourself with your affirmation in the morning. You may be programming it to Lisa's sitting over there. So if you're wondering why I'm looking in that direction, it's because when I'm looking over there, I'm looking at her. But anyway, just like you may program yourself in the morning with an affirmation, and then somebody cuts you off in traffic and it's gone, right? So every once in a while, you want to redo your redo your program in the programming of the crystal. Now, let's see if there's any questions. Do we have any questions?
One question,
Mhm.
and then what is it? Should we do like a schedule for the reprogramming?
No, I would just every once in a while reprogram it. Now, here's the main thing. You don't ever have to program your crystals. It's just if you want that extra oomph, right? Then you would program the crystal. So what's the other question?
Jean would like to know, what about the smoky quartz?
Well, any quartz is good for receptivity. Smoky quartz to me, Jean, is a different animal. I find that yeah, I would program smoky quartz. I would more likely program it to help keep me grounded, because I feel like that's more the strength of the smoky quartz. If let's say though, I'm like, well, I know I want something, but I don't know which crystal to use. You could use a smoky quartz by all means, but I would pick a clear quartz, because the clear quartz is not going to have a particular vibe to it. Really, it's more of a blank slate, and then you can program it more easily if you don't know what the natural vibration is of the crystal. So smoky quartz, you can program them just as well, but read up on what smoky quartz is for. It's really very often used as a protection stone. What else? Any other questions? Nope, that's it. All right. So, I always like to thank the crystal for holding the program. I sometimes to be honest, I don't program crystals very often, but it's a commonly asked question, and there's nothing wrong with programming your crystal. But that's how you do it. You just to review, you clear the crystal, you figure out what you want it to do. You either intuitively or from the heart radiate that request towards the crystal. You always give the crystal the choice if you want to or not, and then you thank the crystal. Every once in a while, you reprogram, just like you'd cleanse or clear. And, to answer that question, Elisa, you may find that if in the rotation when you cleanse it, you may then need to reprogram it. That may be a good way to look at it. So, the other part of our Cindy's Crystal Corner is talking about different crystals. And today I thought we'd work on crystals that are good for protection or for getting rid of negative energy or grounding. Usually, crystals that are black or red, because they are deeply connected to the root chakra, are good for protection and good for helping us to feel grounded. And the root chakra or the base chakra has to do with vitality, and it has to also do with having permission to be here. Sometimes we feel like, we're taking up space, which isn't true, but sometimes we feel that way, and that's a first chakra thing. Or we may not feel safe. And so those are all first chakra issues. The color of the first chakra is red, but black crystals are also associated. And I have some really, I think, the best hands down. Matter of fact, I think it eats negativity for breakfast is black tourmaline. Now, I will show you this black tourmaline. I'm not going to show it to you on the little camera I have. I'm going to show you here because it's so big. I don't think you'll be able to get real appreciation for it on that other camera. But black tourmaline, as I said, it eats negativity for breakfast. And when I used to keep this along with the rose quartz, I still keep the rose quartz under my table, but I keep this near my reading table. And this is my black tourmaline. I mean, this is a heavy duty black tourmaline. As you can see, it's all one point. Now, the ones I have for sale are not this big. I'm sorry to say. This is one of the bigger ones that I have for sale, but it still works, right? Sometimes size doesn't matter. So anyway, um, this is one point. So you can imagine the size of the black tourmaline that this must have come from. To give you another example, and this falls apart, so I got to be careful with it. Excuse me. This is a tourmaline made of many different pieces. As a matter of fact, there's some green tourmaline up on top. But this is a tourmaline that I also like to keep around my office. I really like black tourmaline. I feel like it really helps keep negativity at bay. So a black tourmaline, one of the reasons I think it works is because it connects to the earth. Remember that base chakra, it keeps you grounded. You're much less likely to be affected by negative energy if you're grounded. If you're interested in other ways not to be affected by negativity, that would be one of my empath classes, but this is a different class. And so that's one of the reasons why I feel that this helps. But let me show you some examples. And just to give you an idea, these are currently for sale. So this one right here, this is a piece. These are all black tourmaline logs. I think you can see it. I like to get a little light on it. That helps. You can see they're logs. Now they are delicate. They do fall apart. As a matter of fact, I got little pieces here, that have come off just while I'm having them sitting here. But anyway, this is this size, which is a good size. It's a big piece. I think it's about 38 to 40 grams. This one is usually $12. It's on sale for 10.20. If you're interested in one this size, this is called an extra large. And then we have, and you can see there's different things within there. We have a little mica on that one. I love this piece. This is a large piece, usually $11. This one's down to 9.35. And if you're interested, you can just go to spiritualsimplicityBooks.com and you can find these for sale. But anyway, this one is has a little bit of mica in it. And then we go to a medium size, and these are on sale right now for 8.50, these chunks. But so you don't need a big, whoops, I'm not on this in the middle. You don't need a big honking chunk, this is enough. And then we have the small sizes. I love the shape of this one. Um, Anyway, can you see that? Yeah, the shape of this one. It's kind of skinny at the top and fat at the bottom. Whoops, I'm not in the frame. There we go. And again, there's a little bit of mica in there. These are on sale for $6.80. All of these are 15% off. So those are the black tourmaline. And again, you don't need the wonkin piece. Unless you're really dealing with a negative household. I don't even know where you would get a piece this big, to be quite honest. Maybe Two Hawks Gallery or something might have a piece that big. And a lot of times I talk about crystals, and I only have a small selection on spiritualsimplicityBooks.com, but Two Hawks Gallery and then the Edgar Casey ARE, those are two different sources for crystals that I can just think of off the cuff that you really don't have to worry about them being poor quality. They're going to be good quality. Now, another protective stone is called Tiger's Eye. Now, I only have one of these hearts left. It's originally $19. It's on sale for $16.50. You can see the color and the shine. What makes Tiger's Eye protective is that eye, right? There's an eye in Tiger's Eye, and it's represented in this. It looks like an eyeball or the color of an eye and with the sheen, and it's seen as being able to see everything, right? Tiger's eye, the reason it's protective is its root chakra and solar plexus. Solar plexus gives you the fight and flight, as well as the ability to stand up for yourself. But also, this really isn't showing the color, it's showing the sheen though, which is just beautiful in this piece. But tiger's eye is known to be protective as well. And this one is in a heart shape. Okay. And the last thing that I have is I wanted to show you was these are also on sale, but you can combine different crystals. Now you'll notice these are much smaller. See, now here's another tiger's eye, right? There's another tiger's eye. These are pouches that we have, and this one has a Apache tear, which is an obsidian, black tourmaline. So, see, you can see the size difference. Like it doesn't have to be Mongo. It doesn't have to be. This is the large one. It doesn't have to be. Oops, you can't see that, can you? Let's see. There we go. It doesn't have to be this big. Um, we have tumbled. You can get them tumbled. So here we have also hematoid quartz, rainbow hematite, tiger's eye, bloodstone, crazy lace agate, hematite, jet, and leopard skin. These are all considered grounding or protecting. And I love the crazy lace, and I think that's like, I'm going to go crazy on you. That's a little bit of a tough guy. So those are also a way that you can get your. Oh, it's upside down here. Let's put it right side up. You can get them in a pouch, and these are also available on the website. Any questions yet?
Jane wanted to know, she said, I love fluorite, but didn't see any. Will you be getting any pieces?
Fluorite. Well, I could, now that I know, I will keep my eye out for it. Fluorite is sometimes well, Actually, can you hand me that? See over next to the feathers? This isn't for sale though, Jean. I'm sorry, but here's fluorite. Fluorite tends to let's see. Fluorite tends to be easily broken. You have to be careful not to keep it in the sunlight. This is blue, green, and a bit of purple fluorite, but I didn't know you weren't supposed to sit in the sunlight, and this sat in the window for a long time. It used to be much more rich colors. I'll keep an eye out for some fluorite things. One of the reasons I don't carry a lot of fluorite is because they are breakable, and so I tend to like crystals I can throw in my purse. But that gives you an idea of fluorite. Fluorite's a fabulous, fabulous stone. So we have just to give you some other ones that we featured here today. We have these are quite large, the citrine. These are the palm stones. Just so you know, they're on sale. Well, all of the stones I'm going to show you now are on sale for $7.65, down from $9. Citrine, you'll find they range from a white to a light yellow to a dark yellow, and they all have that calming vibe. See, all of them are a little different. I think this is one of my favorites. This one. They're all a little different. So we have citrine, we have amethyst, we have rose quartz, and these are the extra large tumbled. And I put these on sale this week because I felt like these are all good for being for, I just love this one. They're all good for programming. And then because I was putting those tumbled on, I have these other, and they're just gorgeous. Now, these are psychic stones. These are sodalite, very often used when you can't afford the lapis. Actually, this is a gorgeous one. But sodalite, we have those in the extra large. I put those on sale too. I figure what the heck, we'll just put all the extra large tumbled. So, any other questions, Elisa?
Cindy said, I have seen heated amethyst, so does citrine. It turns brownish orange. Is there a way to tell if these are what the signs say they are?
Well, I'll tell you, citrine um, and amethyst are the same stone. The only difference is one has been heated. Um, if it's naturally heated, it's going to tend to be citrine is going to tend to be a very pale yellow, or a darker yellow. For example, this is a darker yellow, but I don't think this one has been heated, you know. But you're right, Cindy. You will see that when they're heated, very often they're that dark brown. Um, to be honest, though, it's just somebody speeding up Mother Nature. So it's still citrine, right? Because the difference between amethyst and citrine is that amethyst has been heated, and that's how we get ametrine. As a matter of fact, um, give me 1 second, because if I try to send Elisa to get it, she won't know where it is. So I'm back. All right. So I could have given you an advertisement, but I figured just you can hold on. So here is, let's see, where is the thing? Here's citrine, right? Now, that's a beautiful citrine. It may have been heated because it is beautiful, but I'm not sure. But I would not say it's any less than if it was heated. I go by the look and the feel. Remember, we said the week when we did it last that you feel it and see how you feel. Now, this is ametrine. This is a very special piece, and I don't know. Let's see if I can get more light on it. If that will, whoops, that doesn't work because that gets in the picture, then doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but there, yeah, there you go. Okay, you can see where it's got purple and yellow in the same thing. This is called ametrine. So this is a stone that is been partially, it was almost like it was harvested in between changing from amethyst to citrine. Now, this one and I'll tell this story, and then we got to go, right? This one has a fabulous story to it. When I went to Egypt, me and a bunch of other people from the Order of Melchizedek, we met at the King's Chamber in Giza, and we did a huge ceremony. It was just the people from the priesthood were allowed in the temple at that time. We got permission to close down basically the pyramids to have this amazing ritual that we did. And this is what I brought with me. And when I brought this, it had just a smidge of ametrine in it. After the ceremony, it was much more, I mean, it had just a smidge of citrine in it. After the ceremony, it had much more citrine in it than before the ceremony. It was amazing. I backpacked all across Egypt with this crystal. But so this crystal is a very dear crystal to me. But so ametrine, I would not be fearful, Cindy, unless you pick it up and you say, "Oh my gosh, I feel like this has been burned like a witch." Like then maybe you wouldn't want it. But otherwise, I wouldn't be afraid of citrine that has been, I mean, amethyst citrine that's been baked. It's just someone sped up Mother Nature a little bit. If it feels good to you, I wouldn't worry about it. If it doesn't feel good to you, I don't care if Mother Nature baked it her own for hundreds and thousands of years. If it doesn't feel right, it's not the right stone for you. I hope that answers your question. Any other questions?
No.
All right. Well, now don't forget we have 15% off on the website for the Black Tourmaline logs, the Tiger's Eye, and the extra large tumbled stones. Go to Spiritual Simplicity Books. And in the meantime, make sure if you want to want me to talk about something else, I'm happy to choose a new topic. And the next one, next Cindy's Crystal Corner will be November 1st. All right, listen, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Elisa. And we'll see you on November 1st. Remember, email me, text me, message me, whatever. I need some more topics that you want me to talk about. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.